Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Sunday the 14th of April 2024, the year of a million transactions per second or more. Take custody of your digital assets today at rockwallet.com, including Bitcoin SV, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Let's get into it. Right, so somebody's just sent me this article, so let's read through it because I had lots of people ask me, when do I think Teranode's going to come on? Well, nobody really knows when Teranode's going to come on, but things like this could potentially be key indicators, which might signal that it might be soon. So let's find out what this article is all about. So Craig Wright drops appeal against Hodlonaut in Norway. Wright's decision to drop his appeal comes a month after a UK court ruled that he was not Satoshi Nakamoto. Maybe he's dropped it because it doesn't matter if he's Satoshi Nakamoto anymore. That's what I am suspecting. So it says, a still picture here from Craig Wright's testimony on day 3 of the Hodlonaut versus Craig Wright trial on September the 14th, 2022. Too long didn't read points here. Craig Wright has dropped his appeal against Hodlonaut in Norway. The decision to drop the case comes a month after UK judge definitively ruled that Wright is not the inventor of Bitcoin. What a load of crap that was. Huh. So Craig Wright has dropped his appeal against Norwegian Bitcoiner Hodlonaut, ending a nearly 5-year-long legal battle over a series of social media posts in which Hodlonaut called Wright a scammer and a fraud for claiming to be the inventor of Bitcoin. A Norwegian judge sided with Hodlonaut after a 2022 trial in Oslo, concluding that he had sufficient factual grounds to claim that Wright had lied and cheated in his attempt to prove that he is Satoshi Nakamoto. Really? Let's just see what this says. Wright tells court he stomped on the hard drive containing Satoshi's wallet keys. Well, yeah. So what if he stomped on it? Doesn't mean he can't access it. This is the way I would interpret that. So Hodlonaut brought the case against Wright to preempt him from moving forward with a defamation case about the same social media posts in the UK, where laws are heavily tipped in favour of the plaintiff and monetary damages can be enormous. The infamously litigious Wright appealed the court's decision, but according to Hodlonaut, Wright has now dropped that appeal. And again, why would that be? Just off the phone with my Norwegian lawyer, quotes here, Craig Wright dropped the appeal in Norway, Hodlonaut wrote in a social media post, adding, "I'm very happy." Wright's decision to back down comes just a month after he lost a separate court case in the UK that severely hobbled his ability to claim Satoshi Nakamoto's throne. The Crypto Open Patent Alliance sued Wright in 2021 in order to prove that he was not in fact the inventor of Bitcoin and to stop him from being able to claim copyright of the Bitcoin white paper or sue Bitcoin developers or others under the guise of being Satoshi. In March, UK Judge James Miller found in favour of COPA, stating that Wright is not the author of the Bitcoin white paper, is not the person who adopted or operated under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, is not the person who created the Bitcoin system, and is not the author of the initial versions of the Bitcoin software. Despite finding in 2023 that Wright exercised or expended substantial skill and judgment in creating the Bitcoin file format, but what do we know? The famously bellicose Wright has been largely quiet in the wake of Judge Miller's decision, and again he has been actually quite quiet actually, as has his billionaire benefactor Calvin Ayre. Indeed, they have both been very quiet on this topic, I must say, which makes me suspect there is something up. Like, you've got 2 billionaires going quiet. Read into that what you will. The day after the COPA trial ended, Ayre posted a farewell message on X saying that the message would be his last before taking off on an adventure I've planned for the last year. Despite the conclusion of Wright's appeal in Norway, other litigation involved Wright, including another defamation case against Hodlonaut in the UK, remains pending. Representatives for Wright did not respond to CoinDeck's request for comment. There we go. So whether he is or whether he's not Satoshi Nakamoto is completely irrelevant once Teranode comes on the network. And this might be an indication of how close Teranode is, potentially. That's what I'm kind of like reading into this, because anybody who listens to my show knows that Craig invented Bitcoin, and Craig is the man behind the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. And again, the judge in the case was very, very careful to pull him into maritime jurisdiction, even though we're not at sea and we're on land, by constantly referring to him as Doctor, which is a maritime military title, and Wright, which is his legal fiction, rather than the man himself, which is Craig, who actually invented Bitcoin. But again, that's a story for another time. But Craig and Calvin going quite well. If you know that the market will flip soon, surely you want as less controversy around you as possible. You basically want a clean slate. You want to sort of like step away, melt into the background, and just simply let the market do what it will. And when you consider that literally there is no tech company on earth that can process more than 50,000 transactions per second, and here we are looking at Teranode with a million transactions per second and an uncapped block size, meaning an unbounded amount of data can go onto this network. Literally, it is the world's first ever commoditized digital network, where we actually own and control our own data, as we should have done to start with. I mean, it's just a phenomenal system. So let's have a look at Teranode while we're here. Look at these beautiful blocks. Look at this. Look at this. All of them here. All of them over a million transactions per second. That's another column there. Absolutely sensational stuff. Sensational stuff. That's 3 columns. Oh, come on. That is 4 columns. And that is 5 columns. Good grief. Look at this. Absolutely banging them out. 6 columns. 7 columns. Whoa. There we go. Almost 8 columns. Almost 8 columns. All over a million transactions per second. And look at that. Stats since last reset. This is transactions per second. It's saying 2,398,035. Don't quite know where it's got that from, but certainly in the viewer, it's got each of these blocks that have been created with TPS transactions per second at over a million. Absolutely staggering. Absolutely staggering. So there we go. That's just a little bit of news. Hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.